Um. All right, sister. I'm sure you can hear me. If you can hear me, I beg all of you turn on your microphones because I want to be hearing. Okay, okay, when I'm teaching. So don't then turn off your microphone as if you have disappeared. All right, so I'm going straight to the point, and then maybe we'll find a way to. Those of you who are now joining, just watch, because the same method I'm going to teach you, that is what you're going to use to do other projects. If today we are starting with one project, tomorrow you can do another project. So make sure that you are following. Just watch for today. Maybe you install the software. Herbert and Gideon, you are joining for the first time, so you probably don't know how to start things. I want us to just do a simple program and then we let it work and then we go. If not that, I will just be sitting at one place. Sister, the last time when we met, we decided to do a software for our shopkeeper. Was it the case?
Yes, please.
What did we name the software?
Bobby.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so those of you who are watching it for the first time, this application I've opened is called Visual Studio, and Visual Studio, maybe some of you have it. It is what we use for programming. So I've opened a new window that hasn't have anything, and the programming language we are going to use for our software development is called Python, and Python can be used for a lot of things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, a lot. But today we are going to use Python to do web application or websites. And what we use to do Python for website is called Django. Django is like something like a format or a structure somebody has created. In program we call it framework. It's a framework that you can use to develop softwares, okay, or web application, okay. So we are not going to abandon the project we did at first. So the first thing I said the last time is that before you start every project, you're supposed to have a folder on your machine called projects. That is what is going to keep all your projects. So on my computer, I've created a folder on my drive D. I've named projects. That is where all my project files are. And I said that before you can start any Django file, just look for where Visual Studio icon is and drag the project folder. So the folder we created called project, just drag it. You see, this is my folder called project. So you drag it and drop it into Visual Studio Code. When you drag it into Visual Studio Code is going to open your project on your left side. Look at the folder appearing here in capital letters. All my projects I've done so far are showing here. Today I want to do another one. I'm going to do another one, which is a very simple one, and then we all follow and then we go. I'll be going a little bit faster because today I want to reach somewhere. So if your network disturbed, don't worry. I'll be recording the video and I'll post it to the group for you to watch, just in case your network disturbed. So I asked Richmond, what is the command to start a new project? Richmond,
Hello.
what is the command to start a new project in the terminal?
You use Django admin that
I'm listening.
that project, then the name of the project.
Okay, so please take notice of it. This is methods. We are following step by step. Next time when I ask you to do something, I expect you to follow the same step. We went here, we went here, we went here. So if we are starting a project, first of all, after dragging the project folder into the Visual Studio and it opens, you type Django admin start project. It's one word. Start project is one word. It's together. And then the name of the project. So today I'm letting us do a simple website for keeping what are we going to even use the website for? Keeping what? Keeping records of shoe in my room. So let's call it shoe project. And I told you that if you have this is shoe project. If you have more than one item, write one name, put them together. In Django we put them together. Usually you have to even write the project name in small letters. So shoe project. Kindly take notice of it. So after that you press enter. What happens is that Django is going to create a file, a folder, or should I say a folder, just let's check here, by the name you used. Shoe project. Have you seen this here? Have you seen here? All of you. Now you see the shoe project is showing there. So I can now close the app. I've closed the Visual Studio. Remember, there are a lot of ways to do it, but I'm giving you this method so that nobody gets trapped. After creating the project, you come and open the project folder. Go and look for your project. It will be inside shoe project. And come and drag the shoe project and drop it inside the Visual Studio Code. So after dragging and dropping it, now you see that only the shoe project is showing here. Have you seen? Now it is only the shoe project that is showing there. The terminal is not showing. The shortcut for the terminal is Control plus the key below the escape key. You press Control and you press the key below the escape key. So I'm going to press it and press the key below the escape key. I'm doing this a little bit in a hurry, but I will let you guys after it, and then you show me what you have done. But these are parts I'm expecting that you already know, so it's not part I should stay the whole day there. Please, are you understanding? Now the next command we want to do is that every project you do is supposed to have sub-components. Component. You can divide it into billions times, depending on how you want to divide it. But this project called shoe project, I want to create a sub-component about it. Maybe one day I want to keep track of the finances of the shoe, and then the details of the shoe. So there are two different categories I can create: finance aspect and then the shoe aspect, the details aspect. So for now, if you don't understand, don't worry. For now, let's just say we have the first project is going to be the shoe details, right? Or should I say details? Let's call it shoe, because I'm going to create different types of shoes. So for now, so in Django we call something app. App is something we use for components of your project. So how do we write an app? It's simple. It's just like starting a project. So we do that one inside the main project. So let me create an app. Django uh, admin start app. Then the name of the app. So I'm going to have shoe. So the name of my app is going to be shoe. Now have you seen that shoe is showing here? Please, have you seen it? Are you following? Okay. So after starting the app, you go to the main project folder. The main project folder. And then you go to settings.py. Then you go and register the name of the app you have. In Django we call it install. You go and install it. So when you come to the installed app, you created an app called shoe. So you have to come and write the name of it here. Follow the format. The format is that anything you want to write inside the installed app, you're supposed to put it in single quotation marks. So the single quotation mark, I write SHOE. That's the name of the project. Then I bring the comma again. Please, I hope you understand. That's all. That means you have installed the app. Now the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to create our database. The last time I taught you how to create a database. The database, we create it inside the models.py. So you go to the shoe app and then you open the database. And how do we create a database? So you create a simple database that takes the name of the shoe, the size of the shoe, the date it was bought. What other information can we take about a shoe? Yes, boys, I'm listening now. What information can we take about the shoe? I'm not hearing anything now. Herbert. Oh, shoe now or no? The other information everything I take care about it. I'm asking that what information can we take about shoe? So let's create a database for shoe. To create a database, we call it models in Django. To create it, you type the class, right? What's the name? Richmond. Now spell out how to do a class. Let me see if you still remember. How do you create a database class in models? It follows a pattern. After typing class, what do you write? Richmond.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm asking that what is the method, the way of writing a class in Django as a model, a database model. After writing class, what do you write? Is that the name of the class? So shoe. And then you import the what? Models.model. Right? So instead of writing the shoe class, let's call it shoe detail. That is where we are going to do the database. So the first thing we are going to create is the shoe brand. So let's call it brand. So brand is equal to what? Models dot so models dot car field models dot car field. Then we indicate the maximum length. So 255. A shoe can have what? Size. So we can write shoe size, or let's say size. Size is equal to models dot, because the shoe size can be in the form of 3.5 centimeters and co. We rather use the decimal field. Do you understand? So decimal field is okay. Then what can we take about our shoe? Shoe color. To take a color of the shoe, you also need to type it as either red or so models dot car field. But for now, maybe you don't understand. You understand it very soon.
Okay.
So the next thing we want to do after creating your database, Richmond, we can have a complicated database, but as a starter, I'm giving you 2 things per, right? So the next thing you do is that you come and do Python manage.py, make migrations. That's the next programming command I want you to keep into your head. Oh yeah, we didn't bring something. That's maximum digit and then decimal place. We're supposed to bring it. How many decimal places do we expect this one to have? 2 for the decimal, the size, the shoe size. I'm not sure whether it should be 2. It should be 1 decimal place. And then the maximum number of digits is 3. When we say maximum number of digits, they are talking about how many numbers. So let's say if somebody writes 10, it means there are 2 digits, right? If the person writes 99, there are 2 digits. But there is, if somebody writes 100, it means there is 3 digits. Do you think somebody can have a shoe size of 300?
No.
So the maximum number of digits somebody can have is maybe 50, 45. So it will be 2 digits, 2 numbers per never can. So that's why we are using 2. So let me now type the command again. Python manage.py, make migrations. Everything I'm now about to type it. Press enter. Have you seen that now they have created a model called shoe?
I'm not seeing your screen.
You're not presenting it right now. It's not showing it. We're not seeing anything you're typing.
You're not seeing anything I'm typing. Sorry.
No.
When did I stop sharing?
Long time.
And people are not talking.
You see, you're asking questions, so.
Sorry. Oh. Sorry. So, have you seen the screen now? This is the database I've created. Class, shoe detail, the brand. For, what's the name? Herbert. We use car field when the information you want to take from the person is in the form of writing. You are expecting the person to enter something like this. You are still not seeing my screen.
I
As you zoom it, Can you see it now? Hello, Ann. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. So you try copying them, eh? I'm currently doing a class for some people. When I'm done, I'll come there and pick it up. Okay. Guys, are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Sorry about that. I think somebody called into my line, so the network got distracted. So I was explaining that the brand, because we are expecting somebody to enter writing. That is how come we wrote the car field. Car field is for taking details that are in the form of writings, which in programming we call a string. The size, because we are expecting the person to enter a number, we use decimal field. Normal numbers we use integer field, but numbers that has decimal point inside, assuming we know the person can have a shoe size of 45.5, that means we have to use the decimal field. I hope you get it.
Yeah.
So we have already created model. The command I use is python manage.py make migrations. The make migration use what you have, all the database models you have created, and put all of them into one file. So there is something here I want to show you. After typing the python manage.py make migrations, you now notice that there is a folder here that is called migrations. It started with 0001 underscore initial. At first it wasn't there, but because I said make migration, it just created itself. So now let's apply migration. The apply migration means is that use the code I have used to generate SQLite database. There is a database called SQL. So they will use the SQL to create, they will use the migrations to create a database for us. So how do we do it? Just type python manage.py migrate, and look at what it will do. Have you seen it has migrated? Are you guys seeing what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alright, so the next two steps, then you get to the final part of today's class, is that Django has an inbuilt admin panel. If those of you who are here already, Richmond, if you remember, I told you that in programming we have front end and back end. Then we also have the user side and then the admin side. The user is the one who just enters the system and uses it, but the admin has overall control over the system. Are you guys hearing me? So let's let me show you what I mean by that. Python has, or Django comes with an inbuilt server. The name of the server, how to run the server is that you type Python manage.py run server. Then it will open the server. Have you seen that server is now running? It said starting development server at. This is the link, the address to go there. So you can copy it. Ctrl+C to copy. Then you come to your browser. Are you still seeing my screen? I've come to my browser. I'm pasting it. When I paste it, look at what to show.
Django.
Install successfully. Congratulations. Have you seen what I'm showing you there?
Yeah.
So anytime you do any Django app, this is the first congratulations message you see when your project was successful. Are you okay? Now I want you to add a link. The link you enter there, add the slash, then you type admin. When you type admin, you now realize that there is called Django administration. Have you seen it already came with a login panel?
Yeah.
This is the interesting part of Django. We didn't sit down to program any of this, it came by itself. So how do you get a username and password? Because you haven't created one. So if you want to create a username and password for the admin panel, you come to your terminal. There is a plus button at the terminal side. I'm going to click on it to add another terminal. Have you seen I've clicked on it now? The terminals have become two. This is the first one that has the server, and this is the new one I've created. So how do we create a username and a password for the admin panel? To do that, you type Python manage.py create super user. Merely you press enter, it will ask you of the username of the person. So I'm going to use, by default, let's use the word admin for our username. You can use anything, but for learners, let's stick to this. Email address, let's use admin@gmail.com. Enter. And then they'll ask you of the password. When you type the password, it will not show that something is typing, but it actually types. So I'm going to use the password admin. They will ask me to type the password again, admin. I said that it will not show that password is typing, but it's actually typing. Now they said the password is too similar to my username. The password is too short. It must contain 8 characters. The password is too common. So I can just say I want to bypass the security and just create my user, or I can say no and then change the password. But in this case, I'll press Y to keep the password like that. So they said super user created successfully. So if I come to my website and I refresh it, you see they have written username. I can type admin the password to I use admin, so I'll type admin and I press login. Hello guys, have you seen the portal, admin portal? This is the second step I was talking about. Now the final part, then we are done for today's tutorial, is that we want our database that we created, which is called shoe detail. We want it to show at the admin panel so that we can start using it. Then we are finished building a complete website. How do we use it? You come to the shoe app. You see, this is the folder. This is the app. Have you seen the folder that we started by creating Django app? When you click on the shoe app, there is something called admin.py. When you click on the admin.py, they ask you register your models here. So the model we created, which is called, this is the models.py. The model we created, which is called shoe detail, we are going to type the same name at this side, admin.py. But before you can do that, you have to write from models dot from dot models rather. Import asterisk. Please, have you understood? Don't forget about this command though, if not that what you write under here will not work. So what you're going to write is that you're going to write admin dot site dot register. Then the name of the project you want to register, it is called show detail. Guys, we are done with our project. To test what I'm talking about, let's go to the website administration and refresh it. Are you seeing that shoe details is showing here?
Yes.
We have created a database. When I click on add shoe, now I can start using my website for my business. If I click on add shoe, you now see that I can add a shoe. The brand name Nike. Let's test it. The size 45, color red. I can save it. So when I click on save, oh yeah, 45.0. Because we are using decimal, we have to bring a decimal point. Ensure that there is no more than, okay. I now see the mistake I've done. So I said that there shouldn't be more than 2 digits. So the 2 digits, 9 is 1 digit, and then 0 is 1 digit. Have you seen that? Django is very interesting. Even if you enter the wrong thing into the database, it will now tell you that ensure that there is no more than 2 digits. If you are using PHP and code, you have to automatically code this. You have to code all these things by default. But look at Django, it came with them inbuilt. So 9.0, I click save. Now have you seen, it says that the shoe detail was added successfully. Have you seen? I can add another one. Puma. The size is 8.5. 8.5. The color is black. After that, I click on save. So you now see that there are 2 shoes that object has been created, right? In Django, I can delete what I've already typed. There is a delete button here. And it will ask you, are you sure you want to delete this? And then you say, yes, I am sure. The shoe is deleted. Ladies and gentlemen, we have created a website that can save details of shoe using Django. If anybody has questions, you can ask. Richmond. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save this video and post it. I want all of you to follow it according to how I just did it. Do you understand? And if it works, you send me a screenshot of your admin dashboard.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm going to save it now. Herbert, you and Gideon are newbies. The only thing you don't know is that you have to install Python on your machine. That's the first thing. And after installing Python, you open your Visual Studio Code and you come and enter this command. Immediately you open your Visual Studio Code for the first time, you enter the command called pip install Django. Then you can start with the project.
Okay.
Pip install Django. So before you can follow this project we are doing, you first have to go online and select and install Python. Go and download Python setup. And after finishing installing Python, you open Visual Studio and then enter this command called pip install Django. When you finish installing Django, then you can now follow the steps I give. You go and create a folder called project and you drag it into Visual Studio, blah 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 blah. I hope you understand. Alright, Richmond, I'm saving the work.
Okay.